Hello, I am Rojas and I'm the creator of the Modelo Fashion magazine. This summer issue of the magazine was made with the intent to create a diverse space for a large audience of women within the target ages of 16 through 30. I also constructed an article about the effects of color psychology and fashion within this magazine project in order to add another area of interest to the genre. My product uses conventions within this genre of magazines by its inclusion of the typical, aesthetically pleasing aspects of a fashion magazine. This includes a bright color palette, which is a convention of summer issues like mine, as can be seen here. This also includes models within my magazine displaying fashion trends in natural and inside environments while putting a focus on certain colors, as can be seen in a few other examples of fashion photography. This is a Pinterest board that I created with these examples to inspire the photography for this project. However, my magazine also challenges typical fashion conventions. It does this by including a diverse range of models with different races and body types. It also defies conventions by adding a more intelligent, psychological topic to a genre that generally does not investigate these kinds of topics. My magazine represents social issues by defying the norms for this genre. Firstly, it represents models of all different kinds, contrary to many fashion magazines that only bring light to European looks and features. This is a blog posting that I created talking about representation in fashion and the progress that has been made over the last decade, also talking about how it can continue to better. Additionally, my magazine presents information on a topic important to everyday life, as in the effect of color on perceptions of people. This is important in many social aspects of life and is a different take for this genre. This is a blog posting that I created talking about color psychology and how it affects our everyday lives. My magazine attracts a specific audience through the information advertised within it. My table of contents lists many topics of personal interest, as can be seen here, that are featured on the cover, such as how to maintain a certain hair type or how to stay fit throughout the summer season. It also will attract women within its wide range of ages, as well as races, body types, and ethnicities through the models displayed within it. My magazine would be distributed to these audiences in the venues of bookstores and grocery stores to reach the targeted group of women 16 through 30 years old. Since many younger mothers within these ages typically go to grocery stores to do shopping, this would reach these women at that location. I am aware that the bookstore location may exclusively display the masthead of my magazine, which is why I put focus on making the title a recognizable word. This is an example of only displaying the masthead of the magazine. Modelo, the title of my magazine, is the meaning of model in Italian, and it can be quickly discerned as another form of the word model, which is an important aspect of the fashion industry. Seeing this masthead would instantly attract women within this range to pick my magazine up and see what it's about. In addition to this, my magazine would offer discounts to certain locations in order to target my audience better. These locations could include female-focused doctor offices such as gynecologists or female clothing stores and gymnasiums. Much like in bookstores, once women read my magazine in these locations, they'll want to purchase it and find more issues of it, and this will better distribution and profits. When it comes to the actual production of my magazine, I had to integrate various technology forms. Firstly, I used the online source of Canva, as well as many other websites. These sites facilitated my production process, and every time I used a website source or a picture source, I linked or placed it on my blog to show where I got my information. This taught me a lot about websites and how easy to use online sources are. As for software, I used a downloadable editing program called Capture NX2. This program made editing my pictures very easy once I learned how to use it, as can be seen on the right hand side of the video as I am changing the settings for this picture. Using this editing software improved the quality of my final work on this project. Then hardware-wise, I took all my pictures with a digital camera. This technology source enabled me taking my pictures, then using a memory card to get them onto a computer. But integrating all these technologies into my magazine wasn't always easy, and I had to improve my production skills in order to utilize them successfully. When I started the project, I was not very experienced in using a digital format to create a piece of media such as a magazine or taking photographs of people. So I did plenty of research on my blog to find out more about topics I didn't have experience in. For example, I used the Manfrotto Imagine More site to get advice on how to improve my fashion photography skills. I learned about using lighting and telling a story through pictures in my project. I also learned about using the rule of thirds with people to better the composition of my shots. And the Expert Photography site taught me about the different kinds of fashion photography so I could focus more on the types of pictures that I needed for my magazine. I was able to use all of this research and integrate it into the photography process. I set out a shooting schedule and took many hours and shots in order to ensure that I had all of the photos that I needed. In addition to photography, my production skills improved through the actual construction of my magazine as well. Through using Canva, I learned about how media comes together. For this portion of the project, I did research on font and spacing conventions in the magazine. The magazine designing site was very helpful in teaching me about these aspects of my double-page spread. Now that I've learned how to produce media through Canva, I know that I'll be able to produce more media through sites like this in the future. I believe that this production skill is especially useful because I can apply it to creating anything from invitations to t-shirts. I know with certainty that this work has allowed me to learn about media, as well as photography and different software and online sources. All in all, this project taught me so much about all the work that goes into magazine and media production. Although it was a difficult and long process at times, I am very happy that I completed it and very proud of my finished product. Thank you for viewing my work, and I hope you enjoyed my magazine as well.